Oh my goodness, grab your cups and settle in, because I'm about to spill some scalding hot tea about the most explosive drama to ever hit reality TV. This story about Carlos King and Melody Shari has more twists and turns than a mountain road, and trust me, by the time I'm done telling you everything, your jaw will be on the floor. Let's start from the very beginning, because this tea needs to be served properly. Melody Shari, the absolute queen who brought LMH to life, the woman who made us all fall in love with reality TV all over again, decided to walk away from the empire she built with her own blood, sweat, and tears. But honey, this wasn't just any exit. This was an earthquake that shook the entire reality TV world to its core. You see, Melody wasn't just another face on the screen. She was the heart, the soul, the very essence of LMH. Every week, millions of viewers tuned in to watch her journey, to draw strength from her resilience, to feel inspired by her authenticity. She wasn't playing a character, she was living her truth right before our eyes, and that's what made her absolutely irreplaceable. Her story resonated with people from all walks of life, touching hearts and changing lives in ways that went far beyond mere entertainment. But what happened next? Oh child, let me tell you, this is where things get juicier than a Georgia peach on a hot summer day. Instead of showing even an ounce of gratitude or respect, Carlos King, yes, the Carlos King, the supposed mastermind behind LMH, had the absolute audacity to throw shade at her departure. Can you believe the nerve of this man? The very person who owes his show's success to Melody's vision decided to act like she was just another replaceable cast member. Now let's talk about these comments, because they weren't just casual remarks thrown into the wind. No, honey, these were calculated moves, each word carefully chosen to cut deep. Carlos started downplaying Melody's contributions, acting like the show's success had nothing to do with her magnetic presence and everything to do with his brilliant production. The disrespect was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The way he went about it was particularly cruel. He'd make these subtle digs in interviews, drop these little hints on social media, all while maintaining this facade of professionalism. But the fans, baby, they saw right through it. Every backhanded compliment, every carefully worded statement, it all reeked of jealousy and resentment. But why would Carlos risk everything by attacking the very foundation of his success? Well, insiders close to the situation are spilling some piping hot tea about what's really going on behind the scenes. Word on the street is that Carlos felt threatened. Yes, threatened by Melody's growing influence outside of LMH. Imagine being so insecure that you can't handle seeing someone spread their wings and soar. Sources say Carlos's ego was absolutely shattered when he realized Melody didn't need him or LMH anymore. She was building her own empire, expanding her brand, and making moves that showed she was ready for bigger and better things. And apparently, that reality was just too much for Carlos to handle. Instead of celebrating her success like a true friend and mentor would, he chose to try and diminish her light. But baby, let me tell you, that plan backfired spectacularly. The backlash? It was like watching a tsunami hit social media. Fans didn't just get angry, they got organized. Within hours of Carlos's shady comments, hashtags like #boycott LMH, #Team Melody, and #cancel, Carlos started trending worldwide. The power of Melody's influence became crystal clear as thousands upon thousands of supporters rallied behind her. The fan response was unlike anything we've ever seen in reality TV history. These weren't just casual viewers getting involved. These were people who had connected with Melody on a soul-deep level, who saw themselves in her struggles, who drew strength from her victories. When Carlos tried to minimize her impact, he wasn't just attacking Melody, he was dismissing every single person who ever found hope in her journey. The social media explosion was just the beginning. Fans started sharing their personal stories of how Melody had inspired them to leave toxic relationships, pursue their dreams, or stand up for themselves. Each story was like another nail in Carlos's coffin, proving just how deeply Melody had touched people's lives. The outpouring of support was astronomical, with celebrities, influencers, and everyday viewers all joining forces to defend Melody's legacy. But hold on to your seats, because this drama train was about to pick up even more speed. Just when everyone thought things couldn't get any messier, in walks Suni with a shady post about Maury. Now, the timing of this post? Suspicious doesn't even begin to cover it. This happened right when Melody was dealing with personal struggles, and baby, the fans saw right through it. The way this all played out felt more orchestrated than a symphony orchestra. Fans immediately started connecting the dots between Carlos's shade and Suni's post. It felt planned, calculated, like they were working together to twist the knife even deeper. The timing was just too perfect to be coincidental, and social media detectives were working overtime to expose the truth. What made it even worse was how Suni's post seemed to mock Melody's personal struggles. The insensitivity was shocking, even by reality TV standards. Here was Melody, dealing with real-life challenges with grace and dignity, and these people were trying to use her pain for ratings and attention. The audacity of it all had fans seeing red. Instead of taking a step back and showing some humility when he saw the backlash, Carlos decided to double down. He started praising other cast members left and right, acting like they were the real stars all along. It was as if he was trying to erase Melody's legacy right before our eyes, rewriting history to make it seem like she was just another passing character in his grand production. But honey, let me tell you about divine timing, because that's exactly what we witnessed next. Every attempt Carlos made to diminish Melody's impact only made her star shine brighter. Her social media following exploded, her business ventures started thriving, and her music career took off like a rocket. It was like watching karma work in real time. And baby, she was working overtime. The way Carlos handled everything exposed the cracks in not just his facade, but in the entire foundation of LMH. Without Melody's authentic presence, the show started feeling different. The drama felt forced. The emotional moments lacked that special touch that only she could bring. It was like watching a beautiful painting lose its colors one by one, and viewers noticed immediately. The changes in the show were impossible to ignore. The storylines felt manufactured, the conflicts seemed petty, and the heart that Melody brought to every episode was noticeably absent. Even the most loyal LMH fans couldn't deny that something essential was missing. The show that once felt like a genuine glimpse into real lives and real struggles now seemed like just another manufactured reality show. The fan reaction was beyond anything anyone could have predicted. They didn't just support Melody, they became her army. People started sharing their personal stories of how she inspired them, how her journey gave them courage to face their own challenges. Every time Carlos tried to minimize her impact, 10 more stories would emerge about how Melody changed someone's life. And let's talk about how this affected LMH's ratings. The very show that Carlos was trying so desperately to protect started seeing numbers drop faster than autumn leaves. Turns out, you can't just replace authenticity with manufactured drama and expect people not to notice. The very essence of what made LMH special, Melody's genuine spirit, was gone, and no amount of production magic could fill that void. But here's what makes this story absolutely incredible. Melody's influence grew even stronger after leaving. Everything she touched turned to gold. Her brand, soaring, her music, climbing charts, her social media presence, through the roof. It was like watching a phoenix rise from the ashes, proving that sometimes the best revenge is simply succeeding on your own terms. The way she handled everything with grace and dignity only made people love her more. While Carlos was busy throwing shade and trying to control the narrative, Melody was out there building her empire, staying true to herself, and showing everyone that the real power lies in authenticity. She never stooped to his level, never engaged in petty social media wars. She just kept pushing forward, focusing on her growth and success. Her projects outside of LMH started gaining massive attention. Whether it was her music, her business ventures, or her charitable work, everything Melody touched seemed to flourish. It was as if leaving the show had freed her to pursue her true passions, and the audience followed her every step of the way. Her success became the ultimate clap back to everyone who tried to diminish her worth. Every cryptic post Carlos made, every shady comment, every attempt to diminish her impact only made fans love her more. They saw through his manipulation like it was crystal clear glass. The very controversy he tried to use for ratings ended up exposing his true colors, and baby, those colors weren't pretty. Just when everyone thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, new revelations started coming to light. Former cast members began speaking out, sharing their own experiences with Carlos's manipulative behavior, stories of how he'd pit cast members against each other, how he'd use personal information to create drama, and how he'd try to control narratives started surfacing. These revelations added another layer to the whole situation. It wasn't just about Melody anymore. It was about a pattern of behavior that had been going on behind the scenes for years. Each new story that came out validated Melody's decision to leave and showed that she wasn't just walking away from a show, she was escaping a toxic environment. The support for Melody grew even stronger as these stories emerged. People started seeing her exit not just as a career move, but as an act of courage. She had walked away from a successful show at its peak because she valued her peace and authenticity more than fame and ratings. That kind of integrity resonated with people on a deep level. Now, months into this drama, the situation continues to evolve in ways nobody could have predicted. The emotional connection people have with Melody has only grown stronger. They're not just fans anymore. They're witnesses to her journey, supporters of her dreams, and defenders of her legacy. Carlos's calculated moves to shade Melody have become the biggest mistake of his career. Instead of erasing her legacy, he's made her more unforgettable than ever. Fans refuse to let him control the narrative. They're reclaiming Melody's story as their own, sharing it far and wide, and showing that real influence can't be manufactured or controlled. The impact of this situation goes far beyond just reality TV drama. It's exposed something deeper about loyalty, respect, and the power of authenticity in an industry that often lacks all three. Every time Carlos tries to minimize Melody's impact, he's reminded that true influence isn't about production values or ratings. It's about touching people's hearts and inspiring them to be better. As we watch this situation continue to unfold, new developments emerge almost daily. The latest buzz suggests that more cast members might follow Melody's lead and break free from Carlos's control. There are whispers about potential tell-all interviews and behind-the-scenes exposés that could shake the very foundation of reality TV. The support for Melody keeps growing stronger with each passing day, proving that authenticity will always win over manipulation. Fans aren't just watching this drama unfold, they're actively participating in it, making their voices heard, and showing that real influence can't be bought or controlled. And that's the complete tea, served piping hot and with all the fixings. This story is still developing, with new twists and turns emerging almost daily. Will Carlos ever realize the magnitude of his mistakes? Will Melody's star continue to rise even higher? Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain. This drama has changed the reality TV landscape forever, exposing the true cost of betrayal and the priceless value of staying true to yourself. Keep watching, honey, because something tells me we haven't seen the last of this saga. The way things are unfolding, this might just be the beginning of an even bigger story that could reshape the entire reality TV industry. And Melody? Well, she's just getting started, proving that sometimes the best chapters of your life begin right after you close the door on toxic situations.